I want to welcome everyone to the Follow Brand Podcast. This particular week, this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. I get an opportunity to talk to someone that I am just so intrigued about. She is a space traveler. How many times do you get to speak to a space traveler in your travels? Well, I get a chance, and I'm going to bring this opportunity to all of you because she is just doing a wonderful, wonderful job. She's been called to this mission. She already told me, I said, hey, how do you go from being a homemaker to, you know what? I think I want to be a space traveler. How does that happen? She said, you know what? Space chooses you. That's what she told me. I want her to introduce herself. We're going to get this conversation going immediately. So please introduce yourself.
I should say Vanakkam from India. Namaste. This is Dr. Srimathy Kesan, founder, CEO, Space Kidz India, mission director, Mission Shakti Sat.
Oh my God.
I'm going to stop it there because I don't want
Oh,
to give a lengthy introduction now and, break the
no, no,
suspense
no. We need
all
to
the way
hear
now.
everything you got. So, Dr. Srimathy, I want to make sure that I'm pronouncing that correctly because no, I was in Florida, right? Friend of ours introduced us together, Yara. She's in Florida as well. But we understand that you got your start because you were doing international travel, coming to Florida, getting involved with NASA, and then taking that back to India to start your program. Give us a little bit about your origin story.
Okay. So this all happened on the 27th of April 2010 when I, I had the opportunity to fly about 108 children from India all the way to Kennedy Space Center. That was the first time we were getting into NASA. I mean, for Indians, we or our parents rather harp so much on education. And every little bit they want us to learn. They think, my child should be an Edison, should be an Archimedes, should also be a Usain Bolt. Oh my God, how is that possible? But that's how, Indian parents love their children to be versatile. Whatever, whether we have one square meal that's about it, still, I will make sure that my child is given the best of education. So that's how it was when actually I first came to. Probably I should give you a backstory narrative.
Sure.
You know, uh, I hail from a city called Hyderabad in India when it was Andhra Pradesh, the state of Andhra Pradesh. And I was a national basketball player, a state athlete, a rifle shooter, and dramatics, dance, and everything just fell in place. So one day I was leading the parade, the first girl to hold a sword and lead the parade. And that day, the chief guest was the then General K.V. Krishna Rao. He came and he called for my father after the parade. Soon after the parade, he called for my father and he said, "Oh my God, your daughter is so versatile. I think we want such girls in the armed forces." If I have to tell you which year this is, oh my God, people will start calculating. Oh my God, this is an OG. Okay, this was in 1992. And I was an 18-year-old girl in my second year graduation. And so the general mentioned to my dad, probably after her graduation, we will give her the recommendations and everything, and she can just get into the armed forces. And my father said, "Wow, that's such a pride and honor and everything." And finally, he pulled out my wedding invitation. And Grant, the same day evening, we were leaving to another city called Chennai, where I live now, for my wedding.
Okay.
So, the very same day we leave for my wedding. And a week later, I get married.
Wow. That's coming in
So,
two things coming together very quickly. Yeah.
So it's from sword, I directly jump into spatula because if you if you see, India or south of India is very popular for a miniature, I mean, what do I say? An elongated thin donut
Mhm.
or pizza base. You call
Yeah.
it dosa.
Yeah.
Dosa. So you flip the dosas with the spatula. So from sword, I directly jump into flipping the dosas and making beautiful pancakes and everything for my family.
Yeah.
From there, it was 18 years of being at home.
Okay. 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 Wow. Big difference.
So it was more of I get to interact only with people of domestic utilities. So I get to speak only the vernacular language. I, I literally forget how to converse in English. I forget the vocabulary because if you're going to be conversing in English, here, the place I live in back then, people would say, "Oh, she's not an American.
Yeah.
I don't know why she wants to put up this accent and why she want to do all this. She might as well talk to us in our vernacular language." So you're so scared. You don't want to do anything of that sort. So, you start conversing in the vernacular language. And 18 years, you can imagine. So I just go drop my daughter. I had a daughter immediately. So I drop her at school, bring her back, take her to classes. I make lovely dishes for my family. It was a joint family. I had my brother in law, mother in law, everybody with me. So you take care of them. So it was completely domestic. But one thing was different without the knowledge of my family. I wanted to do something to keep my soul satisfied.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something that could be useful for the society. I wanted to do something to take my name, Srimathy, the purpose of my birth. I
Mhm.
wanted to understand why I was born.
Yeah.
So I would go up to the terrace, I would go to the moon, I would just throw everything to her, speak to her, ask her, good day, bad day, happy, sad, everything I would speak to her. It was so fabulous. And suddenly, after 18 years, I get to meet a friend of mine from my college days, from my NCC days. She comes like a messiah, like an angel, holds my hand, brings me out, gives me that confidence to say, "Hey, you spoke so much when you were in the NCC. Why aren't you doing anything now?" I said, I'm doing a lot of pancakes and everything, making people happy. She said, "Yes, you're making people at home happy. What is it about your soul?" I said, "Yes, without my people knowing, I've done choreography. I've done about 55 RAM shows choreography. I've lent my voice for, documentaries and ad films. I would do scripting, translation, anything you name it,
Sure.
just for the happiness of soul satisfaction." But she came in and she said, "There is a conference in Miami. I will nominate you. It's an all paid trip.
Yeah.
And I think you should definitely go for it." And that's where destiny again came into my life, completely transitioned. And I get the permission to travel. See, you need to take permissions here in India. It's
Sure.
not that, "Hey, I will travel, go there." I can't do that. You cannot enter the house after you're back. So, so many things you had to manage. And my daughter was like a little angel. She said she will take care of everything. And so 6 hours before the flight, I get everybody's permission and okay to go to Miami. So
6 hours.
that's the
Wow, kind of
place.
close.
And I went there, and that's where I get to see the coast directors, Kennedy Space Center coast directors. I interact with them, and they tell me that there is something so beautiful here that children can come, learn, and go back and apply that. I got so intrigued, and I said, "Yes, this is my calling."
Yeah.
And that's my first step. I wouldn't want to speak about the challenges and anything because every life, every person has got humongous challenges in life. So I wouldn't want to speak about that. But yes, April 27, 2010, the first flight that took 108 of us there to NASA. And that's how I began Space Kids India. It
Man,
was,
what a story. Space
it,
Kidz India. Now, the audience has got to be asking right now, like, I see Srimathy, but I also see this yellow and black metal thing next to her. And we're just curious about that. Like, what is that? Give us some background.
beautiful, Prat. Thank you for asking me. This is a very, very close to my heart mission. So from us, taking children to NASA, if I have to give you a little continuity to it.
Sure.
So 2010 until 2015, I was, kind of taking children to Kennedy Space Center, then to the Russian Space Center, then to European Space Agency. I was given the ambassador status to all the three research center research camps. So the one privileged one in the country. And from there, I said, what is it I am, giving back to these children apart from taking them here, showing them dreams, just taking them back, and suddenly everything has vanished. What are they going to do next? That was a huge question. So, touching these rockets and satellites, that really got into me that we've got such a huge youth population in our country. What are we going to do with them? Why not introduce satellite building?
Yeah.
Why we get into it? It's crazy. I know this is how people laughed at me because I come from a commerce background and you talk about aerospace and you talk about building satellites. People said this girl is gone crazy you know but I said I may not be able to build a satellite, but I can handpick children who can build satellites. We can be there, and it is nowhere written that a commerce grad cannot learn the nuances and techniques of building a satellite. I may not be able to spell the right jargons, but yes, you can learn that, right? So
Sure.
that's how learned, got into this industry, started off with the balloon sat in 2015, and today, with absolute humility, I wish to say, the only woman founder in the world to have launched 27 space missions. And this baby sitting here is the Azadi Sat or the Freedom Sat. You know, this is being built by 750 rural girls of India from the length and breadth of India, Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And this was for the 75th Indian independence. So, if there is no rural India, there is no independence. And if there is no independence and freedom for a girl child, there is no freedom for anybody in the world. So, wanted to bring all of them, teach them this, get them to understand what is space and satellite, and wanted to have an inclusive society.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
the baby.
That is a great, oh, what a beautiful vision. And I am so glad that the space program took you seriously because you were taking them seriously. And your team, you developed also the Kalamsat, which is the world's lightest satellite. It weighs about 64 grams, I've been told. I want to understand from your lens, why do you believe small, affordable satellites like this are game changers for the future of space research and education?
Brilliant. Kalamsat is actually the game changer for not only Space Kids India, but a lot of children to get into the space industry, not only in India, but across the globe. Because until then, people thought if it was a satellite, it was built in tons, you know? But Actually, to be honest, we didn't have the money to build that.
Sure.
So, necessity, mother of invention. We wanted to build something small and we wanted to prove because the moment we decided to build satellite and when we went and approached the Indian Space Research Organization, the scientists there, it was literally like, we had some pictures, had some printouts and everything. We took them to the scientists and we handed over to them, and they were like, don't tell me this is your team. My team consisted of 14 until 18 years, of 7 kids,
Yeah.
all from rural India,
Yeah.
all boys. And I was the youngest of the lot, the only girl. And we go there, we make a presentation. They were all excited. But the only thing they said was, this is not the age to do that. Please go back, study. You need
Mm.
to complete your graduation, master's, and all of it and come back. We are here for you to support.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. But the first step taken to do something, I didn't want to get back. And, the frequent travel to Florida and, everywhere where there were startups mushrooming in the garages, that gave me the confidence and said, let's do this. Let's try. I mean, we don't want to lose something. But
Yeah.
indeed, it was difficult because you needed to get approvals if you had to send something up in space. So they were not willing to give you the permissions. They said, if you're going to do this, you need to give us an indemnity bond or you will be put behind bars.
Ooh.
If
Okay.
anything happened to the aircraft, you will be behind the bars, Dr. Case. Oh, I was not a doctorate then. Yeah, this is Srimathy.
Yeah.
So that was very, very difficult. But I said, let us try. Science means experimenting hands on. So that's where we took the first step of launching the balloon. And subsequently, the same day, we get to hear about a competition there where NASA was the launch provider. And we had, yes, we Yes, and Colorado Space Ground Consortium was the knowledge partner, and CIS, they announced, Cubes in Space announced the competition.
Yeah.
That, we got to see that the same day. I mean, I have to tell you, Grant, everything was destiny, I feel.
Yeah.
Whatever you wanted, your soul earned for it for so long. You threw up to the universe continuously. And I think that was just laying the path for you. So there was a competition announced by Cubes in Space that if you can build any science experiment, the rules were like you need to build it within 64 grams, and we will send you a box. You need to put it in that. You need to send it out, and whichever is the best, we will send it to space free of cost. It was a suborbital mission, but the free of cost really attracted us. And we said, come on, let's do this. So instead of doing a small experiment, we said, why not, build a 3D printed payload? 3D printing was just coming up in 2015 and 2017. This was 2017. So we built 3D printed, we designed, and we got it printed, and we got the components and everything, electronics and coding done and everything. We shipped. And to our surprise, to such a great response from them, Colorado Space Grant Consortium, Chris Collar, the director, email and he said, I literally fell off the chair, Dr. Kesan. I mean, how come you guys got this idea? And it's all small children, young adults doing this in India. He was so surprised and they helped us so much. Miss Amber, she was so supportive, and we flew the Terrier Orion rocket. And it was such a priceless moment, I have to tell you. Such a precious moment. And that's when the whole world took a notice about us. 900 media covered us across the globe. Until then, you won't believe, Grant, the audacity of a journalist. He asked me, "Oh, did you really send a satellite to US? Can you show us the courier bill?"
Yeah.
So it was like that. But then when Telegraph, New York Post, and all these people started publishing about it, they went gaga. So that was the story of Kalam. And we owe it all to Dr. Kalam, our ex president. And he's a student person.
I love it.
That's why we named it Kalamsat.
I'm telling you, that is such a story. It is almost unbelievable, yet it is true. I mean, you've worked with NASA, you worked with ESA, you've even flown on a zero gravity mission with astronauts. My question is this, because this is remarkable. Your whole story is remarkable. And I want the audience to truly lean in on all the things that you're talking about, because where your origin was and then where you're at, and you've developed the satellite, it's flown in space. You've got everybody tuning in. The question is, how has international collaboration shaped now the growth of Space Kidz India and India's presence in global space exploration? Have you seen an impact?
A lot. That's why I'm here with you today on this special podcast, Grant. And thanks to Yara, my dear darling friend, for this. But yes, international collaboration. I mean, that the moment we launched our payload through NASA, the entire world took a notice of us. And they felt that there was something new. And the student community, especially the student community, they had a new source of inspiration, a new source of light that, hey, it's not that we need to launch big satellites, we can do small payloads. And a country like India can launch its satellites privately, a student built, a team of student built through NASA. I mean, that was huge. That was really huge. So all this meant a lot for us, really a lot for us, because we could communicate, and communication was the key for collaboration. And anything we could interact with professors at Embry-Riddle, professors at, University of Central Florida. So whenever we built all these missions, we had people around who could say, hey, maybe you need to look at this, you need to look at that. So that way, collaborations really was a key for all our successes, I have to tell you.
I tell you what I'm listening to. This is wonderful. I mean, you often said, and you even said this before we jumped on, that space is for everyone, not just for scientists, not just for engineers. And with that kind of vision, how do you see space science as a tool for equity and empowerment, especially for underserved youth around the world?
Grant, thanks for this question, because that's our upcoming mission. Mission Shakti Sat. Shakti means power in India. Yes. So, and I love to advocate for women and girls. There are only 14 to 19% of girls in the STEM industry, leave alone space industry. In the space industry, in the top brass, it's only about 3 to 4% of girls. So where are we going to look for inspiration?
Yes.
And it is always, I am sorry, but it is always United States of America, people there, because they have so many opportunities. And around the globe, people still have internet as a luxury.
Yes.
But we cannot keep saying that, oh my God, internet itself is a luxury. One child, one notebook is shared by 10 people. Okay, okay. So that means to say, are we going to invest only on notebooks? And are we going to invest only on laying roads? Are we going to invest only on school fees and college tuition fees? No, because space is the future.
Mm-hmm.
And if space is the future, every country has the right to work in it. Every country has to have it sustainable. They need to have their students, their people working in it. They cannot always build something, carry it either to the United States, carry it to Russia, carry it to India or China. No, they are blessed with landmass. They are blessed with resources. They are blessed with people. It is just the technology.
Yeah.
So invest a bit in technology. And we Indians believe that the whole universe is one family. So if
Yeah.
I am going to eat a pizza today, if my fellow brother or sister is hungry, it's a shame on us. It's a shame on us. So similarly, education is like that. And space is more. So that's the reason embarked on this journey of bringing in 108 countries together,
Yes.
12,000 girl children, educate them in space and satellite building. Give them that education first. So we have built about 21 modules for them, exclusive. We have built a learning management platform. So we put everything in that. We have identified sisters who are also having the same similar thought,
Mm-hmm.
and 108 sisters who are helping us across the globe to identify children, tell them, give them that awareness of space. And they have started accessing the platform and started studying about space and satellite making. So at the end of 21 modules, which is the end of November or first week of December, we're going to be handpicking one child from each country, bringing them to India and building a payload that's going to the moon.
All right.
That is Shakti Sat.
Wow. You have now blown me away. That's a game changing move. I love your energy. I love what you're doing because you're actually doing it. You're just not talking the talk, you're walking the walk. You've already had some success. Now you're going to increase that success and increase it for so many, especially young girls are going to be so inspired by what you're doing. And when they want to be a part of this, they want to be that person that you choose to go to India and get a project that goes to the moon. And I know here at Five Star BDM, we talk a lot about being brave, brave leadership, being bold. That's a bold move. Resilient, authentic, visionary, and ethical. I want to know, was there a moment on your journey where you had to choose boldness over fear or resilience over comfort?
If I have to tell you, my whole life, because the first step, the first satellite that we built that was going into orbit, we were given 6 days' time.
Mm.
Our chairman, Indian Space Research Organization, Dr. Shivan, and Dr. Uma Maheshwaran, I wish to spell both their names because Dr. Uma Maheshwaran called for us, called for a meeting because it's very, very, I'm talking about end of 2018 grant, wherein it was very, very difficult to penetrate into the walls of ISRO. So we were given an opportunity because I didn't rest after our balloon satellite and after building the world's lightest satellite. I did not rest. I said, no, the tongue wants more. You've tasted success once, so it doesn't stop there. we need to get more children, spread this awareness more and more. So, enhance the team, and that we get this opportunity to go and meet our chairman. And, I have to tell you, the air condition in that room was 19 degrees. The temperature inside the room was 19 degrees. But I was sweating,
Yeah.
so tensed and stressed, because it's not easy to meet our chairman. And when we get an invite like this, I can't tell you, it was such a moment. And he said, we give you 6 days to build a satellite,
Mm.
because we are going to be testing the fourth stage of our rocket. Because every time the PSLV, the rocket that goes up, the Indian rocket, the fourth stage goes, empty, because after that, it comes out and, it falls into the ocean. It works for 2-3 days and it falls into the ocean. So we thought we will, make use of that.
Mhm.
So we want to try your payload, your satellite. But if you are able to build that in 6 days, we will give you free of cost.
Wow.
And you won't believe, that time we had a huge festival in India wherein most of India is closed.
Mm.
And the whole of that week, it's closed. You won't believe, Grant, I made, between ISRO and the airport, it takes about an hour's time to reach the airport. I made 580 calls just to see who all can support us.
Yeah.
Because we needed components, we needed small, a 10-gram component needed to come from US. So I had to speak to so many people if they could come and bring and leave it with us, the pilot or somebody, and, we could start working. I could have just gone met the, chairman, just taken his autograph, came back home, had sweets for the festival, and nicely slept. But on the contrary, what did I do?
Yes, you did it. You did
And
it.
24th January 2019 was our first orbital mission. I mean, I
It is-
can tell you, the chairman of Israel brought us to the podium. It has never happened in the history of Israel.
Mm.
He brought us to the podium and he said, these are brave guys.
Yes.
I'm so proud of them that they built this payload in 6 days' time. And I'm so excited that they've done a great job. I mean, what else can you ask for?
That right there, I mean, talking about resilience, describe the definition of resilience, describe the definition of bravery of itself. That is just an incredible, not just an incredible story, incredible accomplishment for you and everyone involved. I mean, that's the applause from the entire audience that's listening to the podcast right now. And as we conclude, I want you to talk to that young girl. I want you to imagine a young girl from a small village right now, small village, who's looking up into that night sky, who's looking at the moon and says, I want to build a satellite. What would you say to mentor and inspire her right now?
Did you sneak peek into my WhatsApp?
I don't think so.
You know what? I actually teared up last weekend. We're bringing in star speakers to ignite the little minds, these young girls who are a part of Mission Shakti Set. And we had an astronaut speak last week, after which, one girl from a village in Chile, that is the last village which is connecting Chile and Antarctica, you know,
Yeah.
She calls up, she tears up, and she says, how on earth, Dr. Kaysen, did you even think of a mission like this? I didn't imagine I was going to do something like this, but today my heart goes. A 14-year-old child talking about it. I am so excited. I don't want to go to school. I just want to do this mission. I want to launch satellites and I want to help my friends here in my village. It is not easy to do things like this here.
Mhm.
And this is not the only girl, Grant. Equatorial Guinea,
Mhm.
Zimbabwe, Madagascar, Seychelles, Eswatini, Lesotho, Samu, and our own India. There are so many girls. They write to me, they leave voice notes, and it's become like, the moment you give them those virtual hugs and say that, I'm here for you. Don't worry, children. Whatever is possible, we as a team will do that for you, do best. So immediately they will say, can we call you mom? So it's like, it's so cute. And I literally have children across the globe. And all of them call me, hey, Space Mom. We
That is
love you,
so
Space
true.
Mom. I get so many messages. We love you, Space Mom. But Grant, you know what? This is not easy.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
not easy because we don't have tons of money. We don't have supporters. We don't have big people, supporting the mission or everything. It's literally, I would say, children, you know what? I am begging for $1.
Yes.
If the entire world feels that this is so important for our girls, they don't need to give big donations, even $1, $10 from each of them. I think we can build a space mission to the moon, space mission to Mars, space mission to Venus.
We're going to do it. I think what you just said there, and I want to have a call to action. As you said, we don't need, or you don't need for Space Kids, for your organization, large donations. But however you think about that, everybody listening now can spare one, five, 10, 50, $100 to send. And then you will be a part of that mission. You will be in space with these children. Think about your own kids. Like, wow, I want to start this in my own community. How can I get involved? Well, you got to get involved with Space Mom. You got to get involved with Space Kids India. This can be, and it should be, a worldwide initiative because you've done something phenomenal. So many people can identify with you. Like, yes, I wasn't doing a lot in my world, but I have a mission. I want something I think I can add to the world. And you took it on your own and you took 180 kids from India to the United States, got involved with NASA, and then now you're building and launching satellites. Talk about a STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math. Whoa. I'm just so happy with you. But I gotta ask you this, because I've asked my guests this, always in real time. I like to have it in real time. How did you like your appearance on the Follow the Brand podcast?
It was it was like I was just conversing with a good friend of me, sharing my heart out. It was no, and you've just touched the right chords. So that's where, I was able to bring out so many things and share everything so honestly from the bottom of my heart. So it was not like a formal podcast where you are like, hey, Grant, yes, Grant. It was not like that. It was no real question session. This was pure fun, but thought provoking. I'm sure this is thought provoking fun and
Wow.
truly appreciate your time for bringing in, you know, from India. I know we have this catalyst called Yara, but all the way, you needed to approve to have the space mom on your show.
Well, I love having
So,
Space
and I
Mom on my
really
show.
thank
This
you
has
for
been
that.
wonderful, wonderful. You've got to tell us because I'm so everybody's sitting there like, how can we donate? How do we get in touch with you? How am I going to get my kids to? You got modules, you've got teaching programs. What do they have to do?
They just have to write an email to us. We have spacekidsindia@gmail.com. And we have Mission Shakti at an exclusive web page and Insta page and everything. So they can start following us, they can write to us, and they can be a part of us. Everybody says, why don't you have this as a private mission? Get VCs to do it because it's a big mission, it's a wonderful mission. I says, no, 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 no. That can be done by many people. But to make everybody responsible for the dime they send is
Mhm.
very important because they need to feel that every girl has a right. Every girl needs to sit there on the table because only then decisions will be made alongside with empathy and love and
Mhm.
not egoistic.
I love that. I love that. I am so happy about that. I when you said that, I think about my granddaughter. We call her Ellie. She's 4 years old. Like, man, I can't wait to get her in the space mom, right? I got a new great grandchild that was just born. Her name is Enos, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start letting you know about Space Mom already. Because Space Kids is something you can participate in. You don't just have to watch it from afar. I love what you just said. I definitely want to invite your entire network to continue to tune into all the episodes of Follow Brand because we're bringing this type of content to the table that is so full and rich and excitement and positive for all of us to educate ourselves, to get knowledge and applied knowledge, which is so important. So I encourage your entire audience to visit us at 5 Star BDM. That is B for brand, D for development, informasters.com. This has been wonderful. I want to thank you again so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Grant. And one last thing I want to say it's Space Kids India with a Z, not an S.
All right. That's a big difference. So we can get to that website. That is so,
Yeah.
so cool. Unforgettable moments on the Follow Brand podcast with the doctor. I thank you so much again for being with us. But I'm going to call you Space Mom. That's my name for you.
Thank you. Thank you. And namaste again from India.